For centuries, the nation that ruled the waves ruled the world. Today, that rule belongs to a single, undisputed power. A force so vast, so technologically advanced, so deeply integrated into the global order, that its nearest competitor is not even a close second. This is the story of the United States Navy. Not just a military branch, but the single greatest instrument of global power projection ever conceived. And in the next 20 minutes, we will show you the shocking facts of why the U.S. Navy dominates the world. To understand its dominance, we must first understand its mission. After World War II, the U.S. adopted a doctrine of global reach. The goal was simple: to project power onto any shore, at any time, without relying on foreign bases. This required a fundamental shift in naval design. The result was the Carrier Strike Group, a floating city of war centered around the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. It is the ultimate expression of the Blue Water Navy, a force capable of sustained operations far from its home ports. The sheer scale of this commitment is staggering. Consider this shocking fact. The U.S. Navy operates 11 supercarriers. That is more aircraft carriers than the rest of the world combined. China has 3, and they are still decades behind in capability. This disparity is the foundation of American naval power. But the true secret lies not in the number of ships, but in the technology that makes them virtually untouchable. The carrier itself is a marvel of engineering. A Nimitz-class carrier is powered by 2 nuclear reactors, allowing it to operate for 20 years without refueling. This means a single carrier can travel 1 million miles without ever needing to dock for power. It carries 70 to 90 aircraft, a larger air force than most countries possess. But the real secret is the Catapult and Arresting Gear. This system is the heart of the carrier's power projection. It uses high-pressure steam, or on the new Ford class, electromagnetic energy, to launch a 50,000-pound jet from 0 to 165 miles per hour in just 2 seconds. And then, the arresting gear stops that same jet dead in its tracks on landing. This is a technological hurdle that no other nation has truly mastered at the same scale, requiring precision engineering and immense power. The Carrier Strike Group is not just an aircraft carrier, it is a self-contained fortress. It is protected by a ring of destroyers and cruisers, all linked by the Aegis Combat System. This computerized network can track hundreds of targets simultaneously, from incoming missiles to enemy aircraft. It is the shield that makes the carrier virtually impenetrable. The destroyers and cruisers surrounding the carrier are not just escorts. They are networked weapons platforms, ready to fire their own missiles at a moment's notice. The Aegis system is the most advanced naval defense system in the world. It uses powerful radar and computer processors to detect, track, and guide weapons to destroy enemy targets. This system is so effective that a single Aegis-equipped destroyer can defend an entire fleet against a saturation attack of anti-ship missiles. This technological edge is what allows the U.S. Navy to operate with confidence in any contested area of the globe. This is the true meaning of the floating fortress. If the carrier is the fist of the Navy, the nuclear submarine is the invisible dagger. The U.S. Navy operates the largest and most advanced fleet of nuclear-powered submarines in the world. Their primary advantage is stealth. The Virginia-class attack submarine is so quiet, it can essentially hide in the ocean's natural noise. They are designed to hunt other submarines, gather intelligence, and launch precision strikes without ever being detected. The history of the submarine is a history of silence. From the moment the USS Nautilus, the world's first nuclear-powered submarine, launched in 1954, the rules of naval warfare changed forever. The nuclear reactor gave the submarine unlimited range and endurance, allowing it to stay submerged for months at a time. This capability transformed the submarine from a coastal defense weapon into a true global power projection tool. The Virginia class is the pinnacle of this evolution. It is a marvel of acoustic engineering. Every component, from the pump jet propulsor to the internal machinery, is designed to minimize noise. The crew operates in a world of absolute silence, where the slightest sound can betray their position. This stealth is not just a tactical advantage, it is the very foundation of their mission. They are the ultimate intelligence-gathering platform, capable of listening to communications and tracking enemy movements without ever being seen. Inside the control room, a handful of sailors monitor systems that can detect a single ship hundreds of miles away. They are the masters of the silent service, operating in a world where a single mistake means catastrophe. This stealth is the key to their mission. The technology they use is decades ahead of any competitor. Their sonar systems are so sensitive, they can differentiate between the sound of a whale and the propeller of a distant enemy vessel. Then there are the boomers, the ballistic missile submarines. The Ohio-class subs carry the ultimate deterrent, Trident D5 nuclear missiles. Each one represents an existential threat to any adversary. This is the second strike capability that guarantees global stability. The boomers are the most important, yet least seen component of the U.S. military. They patrol the deep oceans, their location known only to a handful of people, ensuring that no enemy would ever dare to launch a first strike. The Ohio-class submarines are currently being replaced by the new Columbia-class, a program that represents a multi-trillion-dollar commitment to maintaining this nuclear deterrent for the next century. The sheer cost and complexity of these vessels, each one a floating city of advanced technology, is a barrier to entry that no other nation can realistically overcome. This is the final, unassailable pillar of U.S. naval dominance. The ability to wage war from the shadows and the power to end it. Technology alone cannot win wars. The most advanced fighter jets, nuclear submarines, and aircraft carriers are nothing more than floating steel without fuel, food, spare parts, and ammunition. This is where true power begins, not with firepower, but with logistics. The most underestimated and perhaps the most shocking component of United States military dominance is its logistics network. While the world focuses on counting ships, missiles, and aircraft, the United States focuses on sustaining them anywhere, anytime, without interruption. At the heart of this capability lies the Military Sealift Command, a massive yet largely invisible fleet that operates far from headlines and cameras. These ships do not fight, but without them, no aircraft carrier, no destroyer, and no strike group could remain operational for more than a few days. Tankers carrying millions of gallons of fuel, ammunition ships loaded with precision weapons, and dry cargo vessels transporting food, spare parts, and medical supplies move continuously across the world's oceans, forming a global supply web that never stops. One of the most advanced capabilities enabled by this system is known as underway replenishment, or UNREP. This allows a carrier strike group to refuel and rearm while still moving in open ocean without ever docking at a port. Massive ships sail side by side at high speed, connected by fuel hoses and cargo lines with near-perfect precision. Aircraft continue to launch and recover, radars stay active, and combat operations never pause. This means the U.S. Navy is not bound by geography, ports, or friendly coastlines. It can remain at sea indefinitely, thousands of miles from the nearest base, sustaining high-tempo operations for months on end. No other navy in the world can match this level of endurance. Many nations can deploy powerful ships, but they are limited by distance, logistics, and time. The United States is unique in its ability to project power continuously across the globe. This capability defines what is known as global reach, the ability to be everywhere, all the time. It is not about winning a single naval battle. It is about maintaining constant presence and control over vast maritime spaces. This dominance is clearly visible in regions like the South China Sea, where U.S. carrier strike groups patrol contested waters, enforcing freedom of navigation and deterring aggression. These deployments send a clear message. International sea lanes will remain open, and no single power will be allowed to control them by force. The goal is not escalation, but stability, preventing conflict by ensuring balance. The impact of this naval dominance extends far beyond the battlefield. Nearly 90% of global trade moves by sea, flowing through narrow choke points and vast shipping lanes that keep the world economy alive. The U.S. Navy acts as the silent guarantor of this system. Its constant presence deters piracy, protects commercial shipping, and ensures that global trade, the lifeblood of modern civilization, continues uninterrupted. In the end, true dominance is not defined by destruction, but by endurance. The ability to sustain operations without pause, to control the global maritime domain, and to safeguard the arteries of world trade is what sets the United States apart. This is the real meaning of global reach, and this is why logistics, not technology alone, remains the ultimate foundation of American naval power. This immense power also carries an equally immense responsibility. The United States Navy is not just a military force. It is often the first responder to crises that shake the world. Whether it is delivering humanitarian aid after a devastating tsunami, coordinating relief operations after a hurricane, or securing critical shipping lanes in times of tension, the Navy operates as both shield and lifeline. Its presence signals stability and reassurance in regions where uncertainty threatens millions of lives. In many ways, it is as much a tool of diplomacy as it is a weapon of war. Every deployment, every patrol sends a message that the United States is committed to maintaining order and protecting global interests. But the question is not if this dominance will be challenged, it is when. Strategic competitors such as China and Russia are investing heavily in anti-access/area denial technologies, known as A2/AD. These systems are designed to make it far more difficult for traditional naval forces to operate freely in contested waters. Missiles, submarines, and advanced surveillance networks aim to limit the freedom of movement that the United States has long taken for granted. In response, the U.S. Navy constantly innovates, upgrading ships, aircraft, and tactics to maintain its edge. The new Gerald R. Ford-class aircraft carrier represents the pinnacle of modern naval engineering, larger, faster, and more technologically advanced than any carrier before it. Yet even as these marvels take to the seas, the race for naval supremacy is never truly over. Competitors will continue to push, and the Navy must always stay one step ahead. The sea is a harsh mistress. It demands discipline, resilience, and foresight. Naval power is a relentless pursuit, requiring long-term strategic planning, massive investment, and unbroken commitment. The dominance of the U.S. Navy is not accidental. It is the result of over a century of vision, trillions of dollars in investment, and the unwavering dedication of the men and women who serve. Every sailor, every officer, and every crew member contributes to an intricate system that allows carriers to operate across oceans, submarines to patrol silently beneath the waves, and aircraft to strike with precision anywhere in the world. They patrol not just the surface of the oceans, but the depths below and the skies above. From the radar stations on deck to the sonar sensors scanning underwater, every element of a carrier strike group is interconnected, forming a seamless network of surveillance, strike capability, and rapid response. These are the silent guardians of the global order, ensuring that commerce flows freely, conflicts are deterred, and nations can rely on predictable maritime stability. Their vigilance ensures that international trade, the lifeblood of the modern economy, continues without disruption, even in some of the most dangerous waters on the planet. Until another nation can match the sheer scale, technological sophistication, and logistical might of the U.S. Carrier Strike Group, the Navy will remain the undisputed ruler of the waves. This dominance is not measured merely by firepower, but by endurance, global reach, and the ability to operate seamlessly anywhere, at any time. It is a combination of vision, investment, and human dedication that no single competitor can replicate overnight. And so, the story of the United States Navy is not just about ships and weapons, it is about responsibility, resilience, and the quiet power that shapes the global order. The men and women who serve are more than sailors. They are guardians of peace, enforcers of stability, and the living embodiment of America's commitment to a secure, interconnected world. If you enjoyed this in-depth analysis, make sure to subscribe to Force Strategy and hit the bell icon. That way, you won't miss any of our upcoming deep dives into global strategy, military developments, and expert insights. Stay informed, stay ahead, and join us as we explore the forces shaping the world.